and welcome to another glorious read. I am your host, Aspen Sage. Let's get into it. First off, happy Saturday, everybody. I hope everybody has a fantastic day or have a start to a fantastic day. I hope you have a hearty breakfast, good cup of coffee that wakes you up and gives you a mind joke, maybe even going for a jog while listening to those audiobooks, or maybe you're like me in the morning and sometimes you just want to read and not be disturbed. I definitely know that I am that way. I sometimes just want to read with my coffee in the morning and have a good start to my day. But needless to say, let's get into our book review. We are continuing the series, the Eldritch Blues, with our monster in August and Trillian. I feel like I always pronounce his name wrong. Tyrion. Regardless. So this is the third book. It's called Righteous Monster, and it's by Debbie Cassidy. Again, this series, I don't know why I waited so long. It is such a good series, and most storylines when authors are writing kind of stay in the same things happen. It's repetitive. Not so much here. There is some, but not a lot. So Righteous Monster, obviously we have August and Carol, and a lot of theories that I had that needed to be answered, including who was telling you, who is August's father, who is Quentin really a bad guy, is Uncle Frederick have what do you call them, secret skeletons in the closet. So there's a lot that actually goes on. And I will say in this book, Trillian and August separate. And it doesn't go well, is the best way I could put it. So she's still dealing with her hunger, but the Order has been messing with their lives. And basically, they want to make August a monster, a weapon. They want her to become the ultimate Riftwalker, especially with her abilities, who her mother was, and now we're finding out a little bit of her father's heritage. Again, Guinevere is a very controlling mystic woman, and she's like, I'm sick anyway, this is my life work, I'm making you into a weapon that people can count on to save our world. And of course, August calls her a nutcase. Then Trillian is the monster who is basically living in August, and we do find out at the end of this book who he truly was, even though now he is basically giving himself to the monster within, the Evering, who is basically what he was turned into. And we find out why all the Riftwalkers that did go over into Eldritch are being obtained by these monsters. We find out that they're actually part of a guard, a younger, youthful guard, teenagers. And the reason why they bound themselves to these Riftwalkers is because they couldn't hold on to their inner monster like their leader, who apparently is no other than Augustus Monster. So he actually has more willpower because he is a higher Fae. So, like I said before, I had this idea that he was actually somebody more important. He is actually so important and part of the Dawn Guard that he was actually supposed to marry a Fae queen. Of course, it doesn't hit well with August. She's like, nope, that's my man, you can't have him. But they're like, yeah, we need a. Basically, in this book, from like midway to the end, everybody is out to get Talon. They want him gone. They want him dead. They think he's a monster. They think he's the reason why people are dying. So it's one of those things that it makes me go, what did he do to deserve to be turned into this in the first place? Is there secret motives? Like maybe he had a rival to the betrothal, the queen? maybe he found out dark secrets that needed to be told. But they claimed, at least in this book, that he and his younger troop that he was leading went on a training exercise and they've gone missing. So now they know where he is. It's hard to say. I feel bad for also August because she's deeply in love with this man, even the monster. She's the only one that seems to be able to bring him back to himself, even if it's for a short minute. Um, at the end of the book, it's basically her trying to free him. Basically, her saying, I will share my soul again with you. I'm hoping that August, she goes definitely through some changes thanks to the Order and Guinevere, and they've been like literally trying to manipulate her. I guess the only way to think is her body cells. They're trying to bring out her father's heritage, and like my theory is her father was an eldritch. They're pretty sure that her mother was threatening with the enemy, kind of thing. So I'm also kind of wondering who or what her father is, and I'm wondering if her father is actually the man that she met in the forest in Eldritch. I can't remember his name. It starts with a low L again. Um, so I'm wondering if he is her father. Maybe. Especially where they're able to understand each other and talk to each other. And he's got like these beasts and stuff, so I'm wondering if he is related to her, like he is the Shire. Um, and again, I'm wondering if actually her mother was killed by a monster or was her mother killed by the Order? So again, there's still some questions. Um, Uncle Frederick, however, he's still shrouded in mystery. He is definitely still that guy that tries to protect the kids, but at the same time, he can be a hard ass. I do love the side characters still. There's Mandy and Archer, and now there's a bunch of new group of these Riftwalkers who have joined forces after the Order dispersed, and they took their handlers. That's another thing is it kind of turned into I can't call them a shifter because there's actually shifters in this book, but they turned it into where August has to become the alpha of these handlers. They basically took her genetic alteration, mutations and stuff, and put them into the handlers, where the handlers are now these out of control mind freaks. They run off protocol numbers and stuff like that. Or now in this case, they ran off of August's will, how she talks to them and stuff. I am very curious to see how this plays out because now that we know Telleran's true identity, we know that August is now a monster, or now, I guess I can't say a monster. She is controlling the handlers. The Order has gone into hiding again. And how is her father going to come into play? How is her mother going to come back, maybe? I am so curious to see how this book ends. And we have only one book, guys. We have one book left until the series is done. At least currently. I don't know if there's going to be a fifth book to the series. I'm guessing not. I'm assuming once we read Ancient Monsters, it is literally the last book. We are hoping for a happy ending, at least. But we all know that sometimes with fantasy and romance and paranormal and monsters and stuff, it doesn't always happen. There's always a sacrifice. I don't know what the sacrifice is going to be. I don't know how August is going to give up her soul. If Telleran's going to die. If somebody else is going to give up their life for them. Because right now there's a lot of stuff going on, even between Lothal and Nandy. Because Nandy is becoming the Priest to August, so she doesn't have to sleep with the incubus. There are a good amount of spice in here. I will say there is spice levels for, I'd definitely say a 4. There's a lot more between August and Telleran. I love how deep it goes. I'm not saying it's over descriptive, but it's definitely more of the emotional pace to it. It's a lot of him saying mine and letting the monster basically be in control in those moments, and how he's always worried about her and things he needs to do. This book is so good, and I can't wait to get to the last one, and I'm going to start it soon. But again, more theories are coming in. Again, Quentin, we find out he's not really that bad of a guy in this book. He's just over manipulated. He was near death, and they basically altered him into being this kind of mindless zombie protocol robot, cyborg, if you kind of will. Like literally, he gets injured and he's instantly healed, kind of thing. And I'm wondering if basically there's going to come to a situation where it's August and Helen and the Eldricks and the Mystics and everybody else, the Dawn and the guilds and stuff, are all going to rise up against the Order and just work for peace. That is where I'm thinking the story's going to go. I wonder if maybe August and Helen are going to run away to Eldrick, or if they're going to go back to the Fae realm after maybe she is able to transform back into a Fae. There's a lot of questions and theories. I do love how deep Debbie Cassidy goes in her books. I love the world that she's building. I love the characters she's building. They are all just fantastic. And definitely, you need to add it to your read list. Like I said, I don't know why I waited so long on reading this story. I think it's fantastic. The characters are fantastic. The side characters are fantastic. The depth of it so well. Everything about it just makes me go, this is one of my stories. I'm not big into the whole, I guess, Scooby-Doo kind of thing, but this is actually really good, especially the mystery behind it and the unanswered answers that are kind of in plain sight, but yet we don't see them. I don't know. For me, it's just one of those things that even when I'm writing, because I am writing in my books, my stories do flow into each other. There are little hints, or as people put them, Easter eggs inside these stories that lead you to find out mysteries that are answered in that character's books. And I just love reading that way. Like, I do like a little bit of mystery, a little bit of get my readers to go, that sounds a little bit fishy. I'm going to pin that for later, and we're going to come back to it. And I know there are some people that highlight things in their books, or they underline things in their book. Mostly it's quotes or things people said, but they have also done things where, hey, this makes me wonder where this is going. Like, you can't just drop this Easter egg and then leave it untold. I like doing that in my books, especially in Daniel's Aries. I do a little bit of that to, get my readers to understand that this is going to be a current thing. I do love that also, that I don't know. There's something about writing and being an author and getting people engaged. Everybody has their thing. Everybody loves their storylines. There's your dark romance readers. There's your fantasy readers. There's your comic cartoons or your comic romances, and you have your darks and lights and everything else. There's so many different genres, and we're all kind of the same at the same time. We're like, we love bringing in a world to people, especially for escaping. Regardless, I'm getting off track. But yes, Righteous Monster is fantastic. I give it a 5-star, as I did the previous 2 books. And like I said, we are in the last one, and it makes me sad, but I can't wait to read it, because I want to read this one. I want to finish the series and give you guys a good review of it overall, how the series is. And then, hopefully, by then, the new Skeleton Crew book will be out, and then we can start reading that one again. I am very, very excited for Convict Story. I know at the beginning of that book, at the beginning of the series of Aaron's Obsession, he was not so much of a good guy, but he was at the same time. But now he is That's his own book, and I'm excited to read it. But regardless, guys, I definitely say this is one of my top stories. I definitely want to get the books themselves, or at least the paperback, so I can put them on my wall. Like I said, 5 stars, at least so far for the last 3 books I've read. The 4th one I have high hopes for. I hope answers are given. I hope that it's like, if I could give it like a 6 star, 7 star, 10 star, I would. So with that being said, I am going to cut this short. I have to get reading this book. It's basically what it is. That's why I'm cutting it short, is I want to start this book. But I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I also have to start writing my books. Like I said, I am in book 4 of writing in my series. In book 4, I'm not going to tell you what the characters are, but it's a lot of competition between the characters. These characters always want to outdo each other. Basically, it comes down to anything. If they're fighting, how many lives they can save, how many monsters they can get rid of, or demons in this case. They're constantly wanting above each other. And it actually turned into one of those moments where they kind of need to come together and make their own competition to be who's best suited, who's stronger. But yet their competition with each other actually builds them and makes them stronger together. So regardless, there's a lot of mystery also in this book. I wouldn't say it's mystery, because the readers know what's going on, but the characters do not. So it's one of those things that you're like, hey, this is happening. Pay attention. And the characters are like, how is this happening? I'm not trying to make the characters stupid. I'm not trying to keep my readers in suspense. I'm trying to make it to where the story is being told in a way that the readers are like, hey, I got an insight that you don't know about. What doesn't mean that the readers themselves aren't going to get a little bit of questions, a little theories, a little mystery going on too. Especially near like the end of the book, and you're like, this seems like vital information. I should probably pin this. But regardless, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Go do something nice. Have some sweet treats. I'm going to make some sweet treats. I'm going to make some traditional cookies and fresh bread and making a stew, because unfortunately most people are sad about it. Summer is ending here, and I'm very excited because I am a fall person. I love fall. It is getting cold. The leaves are changing. I am excited. So a lot of soups, a lot of pot pies, a lot of stews, chowders, and just warm, cozy foods and sweatshirts. But thank you for listening. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you on the next time. Bye-bye.